life, oh God. Lift it up,
every effort that Jesus made was for us. That every moment, every step of carrying a cross for no reason other than the world did not agree with him. Do we ever really truly realize that this man Jesus, every step carrying a heavy cross through the streets of God's place called Jerusalem, because of the way man had fallen in darkness, every step carrying a cross, and he never committed any wrong. Do we ever truly realize the efforts made and the pain suffered so that the message of forgiveness of sins could reach us all? I was just thinking of the words where Jesus said, "My peace I give you, my peace I leave with you. I do not give as the world gives." Isn't it fantastic that God appeared on this earth with his hands outstretched and said, "My peace I give you"? And that peace is where God speaks peace. Even today in the world, we see how troubled people are. We can switch on the TV, we just see, even walk up a street, we see trouble on the faces of people. And today Jesus is saying the same thing. My peace I give you, my peace I leave with you. But we must open our hearts and embrace this peace. We must wake up and receive this peace. Because this peace has got a power. And it can penetrate deep into the minds and hearts. Because God, who created humankind, knows exactly how to recreate them and make them turn from a life of death and dying every day into a life of living every day. And you see, when we listen to the message of Christ, we begin to realize that there is a change that has happened in history, where God has had favor on men. It said that when Jesus would be born, he would be a light to the Gentiles. In other words, Gentiles being those who are not Jewish, those who did not know the commands of God, that he would be a light unto the Gentiles. And we see this from the very beginning of the cross. Even before the cross, there were many who believed in him. But even at the cross, those who did not believe in him, having watched the cross, then believed in him. And it's amazing, at the foot of the cross, when Jesus passed over, a Roman centurion stood and looked at the cross and looked upon Jesus hanging on that cross, who now appeared dead in the world's eyes, and said, surely this was a righteous man. Here we see the effect of the cross of Christ penetrating into the mind of one who probably did not believe up until that moment. That was the beginning of belief. That was the moment of repentance. That's when a mind was changed. That's why hanging on the cross now made sense. Because it took that for some to change their thinking. And God was willing to go that far so that those who would not believe while Jesus walked on the earth, there was still hope that maybe they would believe if they saw him hang on a cross. That God went a step further. God goes the extra mile. It even says in the Bible to go the extra mile. It says if your brother asked you to go a mile with him, go another mile with him. And Jesus certainly did this. Jesus could have actually just walked on the earth, and then on the right day God say to him, Jesus, are you ready to come home? There's no need to suffer. Come home. And those who believe are now going to go to paradise. The rest of them, no. But no, Jesus would go the extra mile and hang on a cross because it took that depth of effort to open some minds. Because if those minds were not open, they would not live forever in heaven. And Jesus went that extra mile. And here we see the cross, the actual crucifixion of Christ, reach into a Roman centurion's heart and to cause that man to throw away negativity, to throw away a mind set that he may have always had. But now something new emerged in this man. And he said, surely this was a righteous man. We now see this Roman soldier beginning to feel and act correctly in his mind about right and wrong. And this sums up the beginning of the real effects of the cross of Christ.